channel is sponsored by Great Bay Outfitters. Great Bay Outfitters is a waterfront kayak shop located near Great Bay. They are New Jersey's #1 volume dealer of Old Town kayaks. Great Bay Outfitters specializes in fishing kayaks and offers demos, rentals, repair, rigging, and a full assortment of PFDs, dry suits, motors, paddles, and accessories from many major brands.
Alright, what is up everyone? Today we're out on the boat. It is a brisk 33 degrees, but there's little to no wind, so it's definitely bearable. Water temperatures upper 40s at this point, so it's kind of time for me to switch gears and start going for stripers. Today's going to be kind of more of a run and gun search type trip, I guess you'd call it, being that I haven't really done this type of fishery in a while. I kind of like to run and explore as many areas as I can. Right now I have a outgoing tide, so we're gonna probably start on this grass point right here, and as the day goes on, maybe work further up this creek and hit different areas. I think I'm gonna start out with a swim bait. Let me just kind of mosey on up here. I'm trying to think how I want to set up. Just kill the engine here. And I guess I'll start on this grass point here. I got a 1/4 ounce jig head with a 4.5 inch swim bait. And I'm just gonna kind of work like what I would consider ambush points. Like this little corner right here, in my opinion, would be a prime spot on an outgoing tide. Tide's getting pushed past it. Sometimes they like to sit, at least off these, there's like little current breaks. Sometimes you could find them kind of sitting in that. Let me try one out here. There's a little more current. No tickers there. There's a fish. Let's go. Little guy. Whoa. All right, so there are fish around. Let me walk him to the back. I'd rather net him than try and boat flip him. I feel like that'll be a little bit more gentle on him, especially with a rubber net. All right, so that didn't take very long. Not a big guy by any means, a little rat, but what do they say? Beggars can't be choosers. Little striper with a diaper. Oh, there he goes. Now, one of the things, I'm gonna put my shallow water anchor in, just so we could kind of hold this position. Not very deep right here. But one of the things with these creeks, that I'll try and do is kind of fish my way into them, if that makes sense, rather than, like, there's some spots further up creek that I really want to hit, but I'd rather hit the ones that I'm passing right now rather than like blow over them. especially like little to no wind, pretty quiet. I feel like you got to be a little bit more stealthy on days like this, unfortunately. Try one out there. And we'll give it a few more casts. Maybe that was the lone striper, but I highly doubt it. I feel like there should be a few sitting off this little ledge here. Maybe we'll try one past the grass again. That's where we had that last one. And by working with the current, the bait does look more natural, I believe. Rather than kind of on the other side of this point, trying to work a lure against it, I feel like it doesn't match the movement of natural bait fish. Ooh, I think one was following him up. Might have reeled that in a little bit too quick. Ooh, gotta skip it. Let me try up on this grass cut. Right there. If there's a fish there, that would be the cast. But, ooh. There we go. There we go. Wow. I had a feeling there would be one sitting there. Just had to be patient. Ooh, let's get you in the boat. Easy, buddy, easy, easy. I had a short strike initially, so I'm hoping there's more than just this little guy right there. Let me get him back in, and let me mosey back up that way. These backwater bass, man, could be real finicky sometimes. It's not like those videos you see on Instagram of the guys on the beach that are just blindly casting and just catching them every cast. These fish that are back here sometimes could be real tricky to get. Not saying they're impossible, but when they get into certain moods and certain feeding patterns, it can definitely be a lot harder than YouTube and social media make it seem. Like that last one, I took a few casts up that point with nothing, but the minute I got a cast along the reeds to get the bait to kind of look like it's traveling with the tide was when we got that last fish. Now I got short striked on the initial retrieve further back, so I'm hoping there's another fish here. There's a little strike right there. Yep. Okay, so at least that theory held true. I knew I had another hit right there. All right, let's get you in the boat. We are going in the wrong direction. We are on rat patrol right now, man. Little striper with a diaper. All right, so I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna do some jigging before I gotta head in. I've been fishing mostly grass points with swim baits. I'm gonna throw this Mackinaw shad down and try and jig some ledges. I know there should be some fish in theory off these ledges. I just don't know if they'll be feeding right now, but we'll see. Took me a second to get the drift set up right. It always, one of those things like when you're trying to kind of figure out what's going to be stronger, the wind or the tide. Recently it's been easy because it's been all wind. We've had nothing but straight wind this fall. It's funny how like year to year how much things change and how may, you know, stay the same. And this has been one of the windiest falls I could remember fishing. It seems like for every 5 days of wind you have 2 days with like okay wind, nothing like dead calm. Today's the calmest morning that I think I can remember since early October. It's been just like a wind tunnel here. What's crazy is I kind of want a little bit of wind right now because we're kind of barely moving. I just want a little, like our drift speed was under a quarter of a knot, which really slow. There's a fish. That's a nicer one. That's the best one we've had all day. Not a big guy by any means, but bigger, I guess you could say. What's crazy is that fish would probably slide in the slot of like the bonus tag, but I'm not really interested in keeping fish right now, or at least stripers. Cool looking bass, man. All right, let's get him back in. There he goes.